Alright, it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I walked across the bridge today. It was absolutely nutso. I'm working on this like really old book called Cross-Sticking Studies. Yeah, I haven't done this in forever, so I'm gonna play around with this book. I'm pulling all the oldies out today. See how it is. Yes, this is my 4th or 5th cup. Don't judge me. So we're doing a video shoot. I'll tell you about it later. All right, guys. So one of the last big head vlogs I did was the new Evans 56 calf tone. I have used the snare for quite some time. It's actually sounded really good. But today I am changing to the new prototype that's going more towards a G1 kind of situation. So that's it. I'm going to keep talking about the 56 and do maybe a 3 or 4 weeks after to tell you how they're holding up. But I have to say that these are holding up the best. And it's amazing. So yeah. You'll see that I always write dates when I put them on. It helps me remember because I have a lot of drums. I fix a lot of people's drums, and it's really hard to remember. Man, this is really, sorry to interrupt what I was saying, but this is really held up so well. This is the thin one too. Man, that looks killer. Okay, anyways, back to the program at hand. Alright, I'm very excited about seeing this though. Hearing this, I guess, is a better thing. Alright, today I was at my rehearsal space with Tom that runs the Drummer's Journal. We did some fun video and picture stuff for his site. We're going to do a bunch more of that. So that was it. Won't say too much about that. So it's been a little bit of just rehearsals and practicing and writing music this week. So it's been a little boring to present that to you. It's me sitting at a computer thinking about jumping off the roof. That's my typical writing style. I will spare you that. So I've actually been getting some great comments, private and public, on the YouTube thing, and I've gotten a few about endorsements. And it's a great one. I'm very lucky that I have a relationship with Evans and Promark. And the funny thing is, it started with Promark. My whole situation started with me falling in love with a brush, the TB3. It is like vintage style, made in the 21st century. Holds up really well. It's my favorite thing. I started talking to them. At that point, Promark sticks had had some issues, and then I found out that Diodario had bought them. And the one thing about Diodario company is they are a company of innovation, especially with guitar strings, and anything they get, they really immerse themselves in the evolution of making something better. And I like that. So I knew that once Diodario bought Promark, they'd really be working on that, and I really wanted to get in on the ground floor and actually be able to help and make some really cool items. So that's really the initial exposure, and I had some stuff to offer them. Do education still. The funny thing is, I do not have an Evans deal. I don't tour with drums. You know, I'm just playing a lot of weird jazz and stuff. And so I kind of love showing up to a drum kit that has heads that have holes in them and makes you play really different. That's a whole nother thing, and we should talk about. That's another talk. So Evans contacted me. I did a lot of stuff with calfskin, and I knew a bunch of the guys because they're associated with Promark. Got in touch with me and we talked, and I think after our first introduction and some of the first emails back and forth about the products, it kind of worked out that they I could speak some lingo that wasn't just from the playing side. I was saying more than, oh man, that sounds good, which helped engineers, and that's it. That is, you know, I'm not on a huge gig touring the world and sold out things, but how I can help is I can tell some of the jazz guys and some of my friends about them, and I can help in the design idea, and that's really how I can help. When it comes to endorsements, it really is a two-way street, and how can you help them and they can help you. And you know, another thing I help with is social media. I'm always like doing this, and I'm getting stuff out and putting it out, especially on my Instagram. And it's all these little things that add up. You know, endorsements are not what they used to be. Nobody's getting money or anything, but people, you know, I get to see a product that I have some direct background with, which is great. I can talk about a new coating or a new this or a new that, and then 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, 2 years down the road, this new thing comes out that I had a little piece of helping to design. I mean, it's a bunch of people getting together, and for the greater good, something amazing comes out of it. So one of the hippest videos, kind of how to get endorsed and sponsored, is there's a drummer named JP Bouvet that does a nice interview with Chris Brewer at Meinl. He's the artist relations, and he really lays it out. And a lot of times it might seem like there's no rhyme or reason, but the company thinks you have something you can bring to the table, and that really is it. First rule always of sponsorships is you have to love the product. There's so many kids out there that will just jump at anything, and that's not a good situation. And the funny thing is I'm sponsorship wise, I don't have a ton of sponsorships. It's very small, but I'm more interested in great, amazing entry line products than expensive products. Here's my reasoning. If you buy a $1,500 kit from anyone, it sounds absolutely amazing. My first kit was a $400 or $500 JMA drum set from Taiwan. It was the biggest piece of shit known to mankind, but it was all there was that was available in the 80s. There was like horrible stuff. There's so much amazing stuff for $400 and $500 that sounds amazing. I'm more interested in endorsing those companies where my students, I know my students are gonna get great entry line instruments. I'm more interested in endorsing those products myself. Two drum set companies I think are just kicking ass hardcore right now. I would totally rock this drum set 24/7. Pearl Visions kit. I think it's $550. And I work with a band in DC, and they've got 2 or 3 of them. And I'm telling you, put $70 worth of new heads, a little bit of very fine sandpaper, and this kit is unstoppable, and it's under 600 bucks. I have a killer kit. I have a early 60s Camco kit. It's super ultra rare, and there are 5 people that give a shit, and that's it. I lucked out to having this kit. I don't need to tour with that kit. I would take that Pearl kit everywhere. I think it's an amazing kit for that price. So if for $500 or whatever you're getting a killer kit, you start moving up from there, you know it's going to be great. Another great company, Tama, the entry line Tama. I fix a drum set at a club in New York called Barbez. It's actually in Brooklyn. They've had one of these Tama entry line. Is it the Star, Class Star? I'm so bad with names. I'll list it below. I think it's the same price. They have, and these are all in jazz sizes, which if they have jazz sizes, they're going to have big sizes. That kit out of 4 years, 4 gigs a night, people toting shit and throwing shit, never popped a lug. I'm more interested in endorsing a company who has like a solid entry line product that if I tell kids to buy it, I know they're not getting a lemon. That's the shit that intrigues me more. Because you know what? You buy a $500 cymbal from anybody, it's gonna sound killer. Everybody makes great shit right now. Everybody. So the first rule of endorsements is play shit you love, and then the rest happens. Nobody's getting free drum sets, and very few people are getting free cymbals, and very few people are getting free sticks and heads. And then what you hope for, especially in the early days, is getting stuff at cost. So you're not paying $12 for a pair of sticks. But if you are with all the deals, you're an idiot. So that's my endorsement thing. So I have a bunch of gigs for this next vlog. I'll take you on that trip. We'll do a what's in my stick bag. Talk about some new ProMark sticks that are my total favorite. They've really kind of outdone themselves with the acorn tip. It's pretty rocking. And then I'm taking my niece and nephew to Disney World. So it will be me in a swimsuit at Disney World. I'm sure you don't want to see that. Anyways, please send more questions. I'll probably cover the sponsorship stuff again. It's what can you bring to the company? It's so simple, and yet people make it so hard. What can you bring and play what you love? And in the end, play what you love. Because then you're playing what you like, and it doesn't matter anywhere. Anyway, so, all right. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Tell your drummer friends. Send me coffee and, you know, make my life great. All right, have a good one.